Hello and welcome to the Foster Family Adventures, where this week a bit of a change of pace and we're at Boscobel House, which is an English heritage site famed for the location of where King Charles II hid from Cromwell's troops up in an oak tree. So we're going to check out, well, can't check that oak tree because it's gone, but we're going to check out it for now, so it should be pretty awesome. When you come here, you get this cool interactive candle. So put the candle on the books. That activates this sound effect on the door of the Roundhead banging, looking for King Charles.
Open in the name of Parliament.
Cool. Put the cool candle on and see what it does then.
That's
On the books.
creates an atmosphere. Because basically the fire would be much bigger in those days because they burnt logs. So you can sort of see the original shape. But the Victorians closed it down.
Cheers.
And
No worries.
using coal war. But this is where King Charles was brought to dry himself off because he'd been walking all night and they were soaking wet. So they dried him off in here and fed him. And then it was decided he should be out in the stay in the tree out the field over the daytime because it wouldn't have been safe in the house because they were searching him.
Yeah.
So what happened to the people that were harbouring him then?
Well, they just laid low. They weren't found out, and after the restoration, they all got pensions.
Oh right, nice.
So I think the Pendrell Fat. I don't know if you know the area, but there's still a Pendrell's Hall over towards Wolverhampton. The Pendrells, they got £30 a year, and the family is still getting £30 a year apparently.
Oh wow.
That's incredible.
That's probably quite a lot of money back in the day though.
Yeah, I mean they obviously lived in a very posh house over there. Well,
Check out this cool
came in
carving.
5 weeks a year. So these were the
Faces.
retainers in the house. Watsons, I think, and so they looked at.
We should have faces on our furniture. Oh, that was a wicked one, look at that.
The paneling pictures, yeah.
Oh yeah, the paneling as well. I always loved the old wooden paneling.
Which is against the wall over there. Wow. And that's apparently it's made from some of the wood from the Royal Oak Tree.
Oh, that was good.
This is one of the original books from 1651, which depicts the story of King Charles and his escape from the Roundheads. It's only one of 2 left in the world.
A bit of a dark corner.
Really awesome. Quite difficult to read, but proper cool. There's a lot of really helpful people as you walk around, and I had a bit of a lesson session this morning. So, King Charles I was beheaded by Cromwell and his troops, the Parliamentarians. So then King Charles II ran off. That's why this story is him coming to Boscobel, then hiding in the tree, and then he eventually managed to escape over to Bristol and then back over to Europe. And then apparently years later they asked him back, at which point Cromwell was dead. And then apparently he dug Cromwell up, cut him into quarters, chopped his head off, and put him on display for having the daring to kill his dad. Pretty awesome. Apparently this is an escape hatch. You can't. Oh yeah, you can just see the lock below the window. This is where he escaped from, apparently, from the house to go out to the tree. And it says up here, the penalty for concealing the king was death without mercy. As a reward for discovering him, which should be £1,000 certain pay. Wow, £1,000 for ratting out the king. Probably do that now, to be honest. This is a priest hole. You'd hide down there and then cover it over with the hatch, and he'd hide from the people who are trying to kill him. I mean, it obviously worked, but it's not a great. I suppose you put like a carpet over the top or something, wouldn't you?
How big is that?
Apparently he was 6'2", right, King Charles II, and the average.
Do they then?
I know, and the average height was 5'4" in them days, so he must have stuck out like a sore thumb. Another interactive element on the panel in the bedroom. Oh. Well, that looks dodge.
It's a tree, Baz.
That is awesome.
It's the oak tree where it hid.
Why they don't grow that fast? Wow. Oh, they're showing you another pre-stall.
Oh, another pre-stall.
Yeah.
Is that the
I
same
think
one?
it's the same one, yeah.
Going straight through.
Just goes over it. That's how you get in it, you see, probably. Probably wasn't as open as that one down there.
Oh, how tall is it? Let's have a look.
Just shows you how small people
It's
were.
just from the
how
point.
long
It's
they
the same
were.
one from downstairs.
Oh, I'm gonna fall. Okay.
Oh no, it's not the same one. It's a different one.
Oh, a spinning wheel, look.
Yeah.
Like Cinderella. No, it was Cinderella. It's Snow White, wasn't it?
Where's the one with the candle?
Sleeping Beauty, that's it. God, silly. This is them riding off to Moseley Old Hall, which is the place he went to after he was at Boscobel House.
That's another dad.
Yeah.
Well, people were only small in them days. They were very tall.
When His Majesty was ready to take horse, Colonel Carlis humbly took leave of him. Thus he rode towards Moseley, attended by all the honest brothers. This is an illustration of his route. He went from White Lady's Priory, which we're going to go to in a minute, to Boscobel House, to the Oak Tree, to Moseley Old Hall, and then he went down to Bristol, which is a bit of a trek, man, on horseback, to Shoreham, and then over to France. Cool old cheese room, which was originally a salt room for preserving the pork meat, apparently.
Right, they must have somebody around in them.
I wonder how long it took to make cheese back in the day when you only had, you know, this old stuff. I suppose it's the same at the time, isn't it?
Thing they turned it in.
I churned it.
Yeah. Well, don't what kind of cheese.
So when it was a salting room, the blood was collected and used to make black pudding, a type of sausage made with pig's blood.
Nice, what do you mean?
The inner organs and soft meat were made into sausage and that is gross. Black pudding, if you eat black pudding you're gross, sorry.
It's nice.
Grandma, you're gross.
Nice.
Hey Manda,
Yeah.
I'm looking for that no good cheating blacksmith. Have you seen him?
No,
Did you get that quote?
I do.
Go on then, what's it from?
It's from one of the Back to the Futures.
Yeah. Apparently this house was took over in the 1800s by a very well-to-do family, and they built all these outbuildings, turned it into a dairy farm, added this part of the dairy where they used to make the cheese and such, and the blacksmiths where they used to shoe the horses and such. Yeah, pretty cool. So this is the Royal Oak, although not the original Royal Oak. Apparently the original tree which he hid in was rooted up in 1700, and then they planted this one, and this has since been hit by lightning, that's why it's a bit mullered on the side. And they've also planted another one which is just behind it, which was actually planted only a few years ago by our Prince Charles. You look at it, you think, well, how the hell did he manage to hide from an army of people in that tree? But back in the day, all this area around here was covered in thick forest, and the tree at the time, this would have been a mature oak tree with a big what they're called, canopy, big canopy. So it would have been quite difficult to actually spot him in a thick forest. So there you go. Currently on a 1 mile walk, that's Boscobel House, walking across these fields down to the White Lady's Priory. See what that's all about. 1 mile walk. Yeah, some pretty nice scenery as well around here. Lovely. The White Lady's Priory, a 12th century nunnery. Ruins of the late 12th century church of a small nunnery of White Ladies of Augustinian Canonicity, whatever that says. Following the suspension of the monasteries, most of the convent buildings were demolished. King Charles II came here in 1651 to hide following his defeat at the Battle of Worcester, before seeking refuge at nearby Boscobel House. Cool, so here it is. 12th century. Not much left of it. Weird to think this was built hundreds and hundreds of years ago. This would have been a pretty grand building back in the day, wouldn't it?
Yeah, fantastic.
What a shame. Got demolished. Well, not very well, because there's still so much of it still standing. I wonder how many nuns lived in here.
None.
Yeah, nuns. Oh, I wonder what this was. What do you think this was?
Toilet.
It's got steel in it, in the structure.
Grave.
It's not a grave.
Is it?
It's not a grave. Check this out, this tree's been hit by lightning. And it's got a cool nest. I don't know if you can see because of the sun really, but it's got a nest in it as well. Pretty cool. So that's it. We've been here probably about 3 hours or so. Really awesome, fun day out. It was it's relatively cheap. I think it's like £11 for an adult, £10 for a concession, and about £9 for a child, something like that. So not too bad, but there's plenty to do and see. I relearned, I would say, some history, because I'm pretty sure I knew some of that anyway from history class. But yeah, it was quite interesting reading about King Charles II and his escape and the history around that. And then we went to the Priory and had a look at the old nunnery. But anyway, that's just about what we've got time for. Thanks for watching. See you next time. Bye.
Bye.